Okay, time to wrap it up for September the 9th, 2014. They've gotten stops beneath the overnight session low, the day session low. Now they get followed through selling. And we start off this morning wanting to buy the 95 area, then the 90.92. Okay, we did have a trade before the day session open that got us long in this area on a V bottom. But the first setup that we get really to get long is in this area. So that's our first trade attempt. This is leg number 1. This is our second trade attempt. This is leg number 2. And this one produced a scratch, perhaps make a little. And this one produced the expected 3 points or more. Another retest failure in this area. Trade goes nowhere. Another retest failure here produces the expected +3. Retest failure here produces the expected 3 plus some. And the trading, we came in with a trading range idea. We wanted to buy into weakness, sell into strength. And that's pretty much where we are. So do we get follow-through selling or not? I couldn't find any news articles to explain this other than them gunning stops. So we're in our 85, 87 area. The news services are attributing the selling to disappointment with the Apple Watch. They like the new Apple, like PayPal application. They didn't like the watch. So, you always have to have a reason. And come on, guys. The watch is going to do this. What I think happened was they got stops beneath the day session low. So we had a good day of trading. We've had bigger days, but essentially the market did play to our script, and we were able to make trading, and we can have more selling into the close. They might just really whack it. Looking at the F1 screen where we go do our initial work, every market is viewed the same way every day. Got a lower high and a lower low, meaning we're sellers. On a one-day basis. And here's the 80, 82 for support. This is a 2-point increment, so there's rounding errors here. Here's the 72, 75 area, and we're still longer term dealing with a pretty strong P. A close below 86.50 would make you question the overall direction of the market, but longer term we're still pointed up. And tomorrow night we have Obama's speech. And given Obama's speech and what the scope of the war will be, could hold tomorrow's market in check too. There really isn't any news. There's wholesale inventories and crude inventories, and those usually have very little impact on the day's trading. So I'm guessing the market is on hold for Obama's speech tomorrow. Knowing how this administration acts, knowing how they've acted before with delayed decisions, dithering before they come out, I can't imagine they're going to come out and say they're going to smash the living daylights out of ISIS and chase those people down till every last one of them is killed. So they definitely will escalate the war on ISIS. It gets down to how much. One extreme would be we're going to kill every damn last one of them, and the other one would be we're going to contain them. And the administration previously has leaned towards containment. So we'll have to see. It's going to be, might be breaking into fresh territory with this administration tomorrow. Hopefully they break their mold in this case. So this one says we're sellers looking to retest support and or take it out. When we look at the F2 screen, we had potential move out of the middle here in L period. It is lower. We were dealing with a B before that. We had gotten stops below Friday's lows. So we got, you can see when we look at the charts right here, we got very, very little volume down below. So the number that jumps out right off the page would be 75. It's a very, very round number. And then the low volume number down here is 82. So we're probably going to get a little bounce in this 80 to 82 area. But the last half hour of trading in the E-mini is where they can spike it. And it looks like they might be doing that. So this one definitely says seller. So where are we a seller? Well, the first place to sell would be leaning against this 87 area to 89. So selling failure to take out 87 to 89 would be the first trade. Then our second trade is 93 to 95. On the buy side, 80 to 82, assuming we close at 84. And then 75 plus or minus for buy 2. And that's it for the E-mini. Okay, looking at the note, tomorrow's a 10-year auction. The intermediate term historically has been the issue that's been sold. If the E-mini continues to sell and point lower, I doubt if that happens. So we had an auction today at 124.21, and it was a good auction. So my guess is that while the structure says lower high and a lower low, they were probably going to find buyers about where we found them today. So this 12 to 20 area, a lot of volume down in here. It's hard for me to see the market breaking 12. Might go a little lower than we were today, but I don't think the bottom falls out of the market without an obvious piece of news. War is announced. Tends to support gold, the financials, and crude oil. War is announced, it tends to hurt currencies and tends to initially hurt the stock markets, but they usually come back if we actually do go to war. So it's just hard to say. So right here we've got a selling profile. We've made new lows. Failure to take out the 28 area would set up another sell to retest support. Looking at the F2 screen, definitely a B. Probably will get some support from the stock market. So I'm going to keep the buy area the same, 16 to 20. Have a low of 18.5 and then 9 to 13. Interested in buying weakness in the morning for a rally into the auction. Then we're going to sell failure to take out what? 26 to 29.5. If the E-mini sells, it's probably going to support the financials this afternoon. And then we had this spill up here basically at the buck, so second sell will be 25 even to 04. At the ZB, knob spread came back in this afternoon. It's still at 13. We usually can buy and sell a little better in this contract than we can the note. So our first sell zone is going to be the sell failure to take out 38 to 04 and 7 to 11. On the buy side, last rotate down stopped at 21. We're at 28. Like to think we can buy 21s. May take. I'm going to put a question mark at 25. We're going to try to 21s or better. A lot of it just depends on what happens to the E-mini. If the E-mini comes back in range, we'll probably 17 to 21 is where we're going to be. If the E-mini spills, 25 will be probably about as good as we'd expect to do. Okay, I think gold is headed lower unless war breaks out. And again, this nobody really expects the Ukraine-Russia situation to get out of hand. And nobody really expects full-out war for ISIS. So I think we are headed lower, but we will. Tomorrow night's speech in prime time for President Obama could hold this market in check too. So we're selling 58 to 60, then 63, 65. First buy is going to be 49.51. And the second buy will be 45.46 for buy 2. I think if President Obama comes out and really says that he's going to go over there and kick the living daylights out of ISIS, that the market and the world will see if he really is going to do what he says he's going to do. Talk is cheap. You got to follow through. So no matter what he says tomorrow night, the market's likely to take it with a grain of salt. To effectively work on the world stage of the world platform, you've got to have some credibility. I mean, you got to generally do what you say you're going to do. And the most important thing to know about a president, if you're a foreign leader, is how is he going to react or probably going to react in certain situations. And they've got a pretty good history on this. So they'll be watching and looking forward to see if there's any change of character. Based on the previous administration rulings and the way they've handled these situations, they'll do just enough. And so the drumbeat of war won't get any louder, and it won't really affect crude oil and gold all that much. Okay, we got stops below 92. We've got a B pattern. We are pointed lower. We've got volume at 26. And we also are going to have stops below 50. So maybe a little bit lower, 25 to 50, with Obama's speech holding the market in check. And then 91.75, 92 for buy 2. And on the sell side, the last rotate up stopped at 93, so 93, 93 and a quarter will get us almost to the top of value. Then 50 to 75 for sell 2. And last but not least, the euro. No big news to move the markets tomorrow. The Asian markets are off of holiday. Russia has not responded to the EU sanctions. It's usually tit for tat So Europe needs the natural gas and Russia needs the foreign exchange. So we'll see what we have. I haven't seen any news announcements right here, but the market, something could be going on right now. So we wanted to buy the 60 to 70 area. We basically were selling the buck to 129.30, and we've broken out from that. So definitely short covering on this screen, looking at the F2 screen. Okay, we have a move out of the middle in C period because it breaks resistance, the value area high, and then D takes it up. And we got a new move right now, so there may be something going on. So we got this volume up here at 58. We're at 51, and our low this morning was 75. So we're 75 points above the market, so that's worked pretty well for us. So 50 to 60 for S1 in London, and 75 to 85 for S2. On the buy side, 15 to 25, and then 29 plus or minus. And that's it for September the 9th, 2014. Had a good day today. Weren't perfect, but rarely are we perfect on any day, but we're good enough to make you money if you take the trades. And that's the key, developing enough confidence to take the trades. And if you're not taking the trades, that means you don't have confidence in what we're doing. It means you got to go back and do the homework. You got to go back and satisfy yourself that what we say